Hey yo, what's up? My name is Mine, and today we are talking about some very special things. I have my partner Chris with me. Say hello.
Hey.
Yo, what's up? And hey, we have a lot of things to dive into, but one thing that I need you guys all to do is make sure you're subscribed because we have something very special coming in the future that I can't tell you about right now, but you don't want to miss it. Today, we're going to be talking about movement in Hytale, and I think that's something a lot of people are very, very interested about, and especially for me. We got some crazy information not too long ago. I'm going to use that word again in the last blog post.
Hey, you're not wrong with that one. Not wrong with that one because it was basically the last blog. Or was it the most recent?
Blog post. It is the most recent one. We did
but
not
like,
get
sure, it's like a year ago. But I digress. Like, right? Like, it's not that long ago. Just it's kind of far.
So we got a lot of information about a new movement system, aka MANTELING, and I want to read this about to all of you guys, including you, Chris. If you want to play the gameplay clip on top of me right now so everyone can see. I'm trying to find where they talk about it. Where is it? Okay, right here.
MANTELING.
This is an example of MANTELING. Yeah, which is one of the several new movement techniques that we've been prototyping. So keep in mind there are more than that. And we're going to be definitely theorizing about what they could be. At the moment, MANTELING allows characters to climb up a wall that could otherwise be too high to jump over, as well as make leaping across gaps for slightly more forgiving. From a standing start, a player can currently jump and grab a ledge that is 4 blocks high. That's insane.
That's like 2 Minecraft characters.
Is crazy.
That's 2 Minecraft characters.
For reference, a Minecraft character can jump 1 block.
And I think 3 with jump boost 2? Is it jump boost 2 with 3?
I'm not familiar, but
no, I'm not either.
Regardless, 4 blocks is absolutely insane. As you can see in the video, it looks super fluid. It looks super fun to do. Imagine the parkour that can come out of that, and that's going to be something we're definitely going to talk about later on in the episode. Is the parkour possibilities? Oh my god, I know Radoons will love that,
dude. I mean, I was never big on like Minecraft parkour. Like I was, there was a phase where I loved parkour.
Same.
But then like, I think everybody just went through that phase and kind of just stopped because it just basically, it's so repetitive. You jump on fence posts, you jump around a block, get into a ladder, and then basically rinse and repeat basically the same thing. So if you have this whole different MANTELING feature and then all these other prototypes.
MANTELING.
I don't even know how to pronounce it.
MANTELING
feature and all these other prototypes that they have. Like, imagine what you could do, dude. You could probably start backflipping off clips and grabbing onto ladders or like ledges. It's gonna be so cool. And
oh my god, yeah, you are literally Tarzan.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be dope. Like, yeah, is rope swinging gonna be a thing? Who knows? Like, that'll be so dope.
Imagine the dungeons that we could find with rope swinging.
Ooh.
And then there's lava like beneath you.
The way I see it, did you ever play Jedi Fallen Order?
I could not be the first boss.
What, the frog?
Yeah.
Oh god, it's so overpowered. But that you got to come back to it later when you're more overpowered. But in the game,
wait, can you skip that boss?
Yeah, it's open world, dude. Well, not open world, but like you could just go and come back to it.
I did not know that. Okay. This is off topic.
Anywho, so you can so in parts of the game you can there's a thing called force pull where you can pull these like vines in towards you and you swing on them. That's the way, and the way the swinging mechanic works in there is sort of the way I see it working in Hytale. I think it'll be really cool. Obviously, you're not gonna have the force and you can't really pull it, but if it's just there and you jump on it, maybe there's like a grab feature, then that'll be really dope.
Small tangent. Do you think certain wind abilities could be similar to the force? Like you could push something towards it'd probably be more push away than pull towards you, but do you think sort of push abilities will exist?
Oh,
now,
definitely.
Probably not towards blocks, but
if you do that
mobs,
though,
definitely.
If you push something forward, it will come back towards you as well. So I don't know how, like, you know, when you push things, they swing, right? Like.
Oh right, I thought I was thinking of a skeleton. I'm like, if you just push a skeleton away.
No. Like a stationary object that's like pendulum
right.
at the top, it will swing back and forth. So that could be a way you do it if you use like a little wind staff or like a wind little spell. But that's sort of far-fetched. I don't think that'll be in the base game, but if it is, that'll be so sick.
That's a cool idea, and you definitely have to make it so that in the dungeon, for some reason, you can't build around these rope swinging things. Because why would you risk your life swinging ropes across lava when you could just build a bridge?
Speed bridging.
So it would definitely have to be like a certain dungeon that limits your capabilities of doing whatever you can do in Hytale.
Yeah.
But it could be interesting. That's a good thought.
Still really cool anyway. But let's stick with the dungeons and stuff like that. Minecarts, we've seen them in the trailer. A great way of traveling and, you know, great way of having fun when you make your little roller coasters. So, we saw it in the trailer, and minecarts, they have little jump features and all that. Like, what can you do with those things?
That is such a good question. I think the jumping feature is one of the most, like, under talked about features, I think, because we see it in the trailer, but we don't really talk about what we could do. Does that mean we could... I don't know what it means. I'm gonna look at the trailer while we're talking, just so I remember what the jumping is. But isn't it when the rail ends and he jumps onto another rail?
I think so, and it's not just like in Minecraft where you just fall off a rail and then just go straight down. I think he literally does like a little jump basically onto the next rail, which is so sick. And what's stopping you from saying, you know, you're going down a hill, but then there's a little thing above you and you do a little parkour up onto the next ledge?
Okay, yeah, it is when there's like a log right here, it ends, and then there's a log right here and it goes forward, and you can see he like physically jumps. This is not like something where you just like kind of fall onto the next one. The character jumped. And does that mean you could choose like different paths depending on if you jump or not? So you go down a minecart rail, and if you keep going, you go down one section, but if you jump, you go onto a different one.
Maybe
so you have like split paths.
I could just Did you ever play Club Penguin?
I played a few.
So do you remember the little minecart game that they had there?
I believe so.
Yeah, so you know, you could jump, you could do like tricks and stuff on the minecart. Somebody better recreate that as a mini game in Hytale. How fun! I think that'd be so fun. You just get like points and little score, and then go from there.
If there's any modders or developers here, write that down. This is a moneymaker right there.
Dude, no, that is a moneymaker. No, just even the minecart game. I forget what it was called, like Minecart Mania or Minecart Crash, something like that. But
you could literally just take the name.
No, honestly. Yeah, Club Penguin's not even a thing anymore.
Yeah,
so go ahead, dude.
So you could.
Rest in peace, by the way. Rest in peace, Club Penguin. Yeah, honestly.
Okay.
Peace. Yeah, so minecarts.
Yeah, so
they look fast.
Jump. Now, I have a question. Do you think you can turn or like move during the jump, or do you think it's a linear jump? I think it's a linear jump. It doesn't look like you have a lot of capability, and I think it'd be kind of harder to code or like balance or make sense. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, in Minecraft, when you turn, it's literally it's basically 90-degree angles. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, you can make a 180, but it's just because you put two 90 degrees together. It's not like you build a 90-degree piece or like a 720-degree piece or anything like that. So yeah, I don't think when you're in the air you can really start leaning, right? That would be kind of crazy if you could. But maybe if you're in the minecart and there is a sharper turn, maybe you could lean the minecart, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. That's something we'll have to figure out once we actually see minecarts in the actual game. But yeah, we know that you can jump. That's pretty much it. Maybe you can duck. That's something else.
Maybe,
that you
like
can
crouching.
Like duck. Yeah, like crouch in your minecart, and then you can go through like thinner or like not thinner, but like shorter entrances. Otherwise, I feel like that's a bit dark, but you decapitate yourself or something. I don't know, because like you bonk your head. If your character's this tall and the entrance is this high, it doesn't work. But if you crouch,
yeah.
You know,
I feel like you'd probably take a lot of damage if you were to just smash your face onto a block.
I mean, that's what happens in Minecraft too, right? If you go in like a one by one, you just start taking damage because
you start suffocating, right? Yeah.
So it could probably be the same thing. I doubt it though. I think it's gonna be a similar thing. But those are like super specifics. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think anyone cares about that.
We just want mini games. Like, let's be honest, that'll be fun.
We just want mini games.
Yeah.
So that's the minecarts done. What other modes of travel do you know about that you want to talk about next?
Well, there is a concept art with like a jetpack and like a propeller pack.
I'm so excited that you brought that one up.
Yes, I knew. I was feeling it. I was thinking of like maybe putting it later in the podcast, but I'm like, nah, we'll do it now.
We gotta talk about the jetpack, Chris.
Jetpack. I love jetpacks. Jetpacks in every game mode are just fun. Like, you can't tell me a jetpack is not fun.
We have so many movement devices here. We have a jetpack. Wow.
Whoa.
A diving device. We have a back propeller. We have mechanical wings.
Basically,
we have a parachute, a turtle carapace, and I think that's it. So a turtle carapace, that's like the shell.
Like
I don't know what this is used for. There's no like. It looks like it could be like a back shield, possibly, because it talks about back gear ideas.
Oh,
so I think this is more of a back gear, and I don't think it's a movement tech.
So it's more armor, isn't it?
Yeah, that looks more to be armor. But the rest I mentioned are definitely movement things. So let's talk about the jetpack first. There's jetpacks in the game. Hello?
Dude,
isn't that awesome?
I can't wait to become a Mandalorian, dude. It's going to be dope. Oh, I just want to fly with a jetpack. And I think most of these are going to be steam powered or like gear steamish powered. Something
steam or like coal or oil.
Charcoal.
We don't know if oil's in the game.
That's true, we don't. But I mean, if you look at Zone 2, perfect spot to mine some oil. Let me just tell you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I really like jetpacks, dude. I don't know how you're gonna build one. Like, I'm be honest. What type of technology you're gonna need for that?
Definitely mid to late game. 100%. There's no way you're getting a jetpack straight off spawn.
No. Yeah, but I want one. Imagine what you could do with a jetpack in Hytale, dude.
Ooh.
Is that how you get up to the Sky Islands?
Ooh. Okay, that's actually such a good idea.
Or hear me out. You use the propeller pack to get up to the Sky Islands, and then once you're in the Sky Islands, they have the technology for the jetpack, and you learn
and the mechanical wings and
yeah.
Okay, right.
I think we're cooking here.
I think we definitely are cooking because there are so many different like vertical movement back gear ideas, and this is something I do want to mention. It says back gear ideas. These are ideas, so we don't know if all of them are in the game. We're going to assume that at least most of them are, because they're all pretty unique. Maybe they're just going to decide upon one, but...
We have seen the propeller pack in, like, high-pixel lobby gameplay.
We've seen the propeller pack. That the back propeller is confirmed to be in the game. Mechanical wings will probably work similar to an elytra. A parachute is going to be the same thing, except it's not gonna bring you as horizontal and as fast. I feel like mechanical wings are like more for movement, and parachute is just for like, I need to get down from here.
I think it's quite early game. You're on the top of like a cliff or something, and you're like, I don't want to go back down, so you just sort of jump off that thing and
it's like a bit of string and some cloth or whatever, and then you have yourself a parachute. Maybe it'll activate like in Fortnite. You just press space, and then boop, your parachute opens.
Like, it would be really fun just for trying to like escape from like a boss or an enemy or something like that. Sorry if you hear the phone ringing in the background, but you can you just say little chieftain is chasing you, or chieftain. He's chasing you off a bridge or something, or a mountain. You just jump off, and you're like, haha, see ya, sucker. That'd be fun.
Right. So parachute probably going to be very early game, and you're going to be able to get that. Mechanical wings probably not going to be early game. It looks like it's going to be a lot of crafting, but it's not going to be as hard as the jetpack. So I think the like path is going to be from parachute to mechanical wings to back propeller to jetpack.
Probably.
That's my guess
most
for what
likely.
it looks like.
Yeah, and I want to ask you, do you think the mechanical wings will be sort of exactly the same as Elytra? Like, it will take up the chest piece of your inventory, or do you think you can just throw it on your back and then have a chest plate? Because this is, remember, like we said, it is a back item.
Right? And that's the thing. I don't think it will take the chest plate or whatever the type of armor slot there, because you also see in the same concept art, you see quivers, you see weapons, you see some capes. There's no way a cape takes away an armor slot.
Yeah.
So I think there's gonna be a separate way to equip something to a back,
It's so dope.
That's going to have its own slot. So, for example, you'd have to choose between having a quiver for arrows or your mechanical wings on.
Yeah, but then again, you could also just keep it in your inventory or in like a backpack, which is in your inventory as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you're not just going to be able to have one, pretty much.
So we kind of know what the parachute and mechanical wings do. What do you think the difference between the jetpack and the back propeller are? Because those two seem very similar.
They're very similar, but they're also very different. Like, I think movement speed wise, jetpack blows it out of the water, probably be really fast and everything. But I think the propeller pack probably way more early game than the jetpack. So your best bet probably in the beginning of Hytale or mid to early game Hytale is to get a propeller pack and just start flying around. But then again, would that just basically save you all the time if you're fighting in zone 1, zone 2, or zone 3? Most likely, if you can fly away, that wouldn't be very
But
fun.
also, you can mantle up 4 blocks. So you can already technically get away from most things. I think these 4 movement items are going to be very similar. The mechanical wings and parachute are for descent. The back propeller and jetpack are for ascent. The parachute goes down slowly while the mechanical wings is like speed. The back propeller goes up slowly while the jetpack is going to be more for speed. That's my guess.
So do you think there'll be a way, like in Minecraft, how you can use a firework with a elytra just to start plowing yourself through the air? Or you think it's just a slow, gradual, fast fall, pretty much?
That's hard to say.
Because there are fireworks in Hytale.
There are fireworks in Hytale, but I don't think the mechanical wings will work like that. It doesn't make sense.
I hope not.
They're mechanical. I think it makes sense in Minecraft because elytra wings or elytras are like more magical, I guess. But mechanical wings, these are like mechanical.
Right, yeah.
We see like etched very small on the right side of the mechanical wings. There's like some puffs of air. So maybe you could like speed it up, but while consuming more fuel. I think that's going to be the more logical one. Or like using some fuel because they won't use, or they might use fuel. Who knows? That's something to look out for.
Yeah, well,
maybe there's like a way to nitro it.
That'd be sick. That'd be so sick. That'd be so sick.
We have the diving device.
Yeah, we've seen it in a concept art as well. Or not a concept art, actually an image. Like a full diving image. We
definitely have.
Late game? Early game? What are you saying?
I'm thinking mid. I'm thinking mid game.
Yeah. I think underwater. I think underwater is going to have some pretty solid mid to late game items.
If this is only the tippy toes of underwater movement, I hope it's going to be super fluid. I hope it's going to be fun.
I want to put a dolphin. I want to put a saddle on a dolphin. Like, how sick would that be?
Oh yeah, we see. I pulled up the trailer again. In the trailer, you see that the player has a breathing tank, less advanced,
literally oxygen,
an oxygen tank.
Yeah,
less advanced than this diving device. So we already know levels to this. There's the oxygen tank in the trailer, and then there's this diving device, which is more modern and teched out, and then we also see flippers in the trailer, so we will be able to equip flippers on our feet and be able to swim faster.
That'll drastically increase your movement speed. Basically, think of putting depth strider on your boots in Minecraft.
Yeah,
it's what probably putting flippers in Hytale will be.
Yeah, most definitely. And then I think because we don't see the front of the player here, to my knowledge, it looks like he has some diving goggles on. Yes. So my guess would be that without goggles, you're going to see a lot less in the ocean. But once you put the diving goggles on, the fog clears a lot further and you can see a lot more. So when you are diving, you are definitely going to want to have your diving gear ready and use it because it's going to be very, very beneficial for you.
Yeah. Do you think diving gear in Hytale will have a sort of box around it, sort of like when you put on a pumpkin in Minecraft? You know how it's that black outline?
I hope to God not.
I know. I was gonna say I hate when games do that because it just your depth perception is just completely off and you can't even see the sides. It's brutal.
I could see it if on the corners. I'm gonna try to do it from my camera. Like there's something right here to show, and then like right here, just like on the corners to show like, hey, you're wearing goggles right now. That could be cool, but nothing to obstruct the screen.
Yeah, you're not gonna have like a full goggle outline basically, because that would just be annoying as heck.
Yeah,
but if they do
don't
that,
want it to be like this or something.
Yeah, you don't want to be basically like you're looking outside of like a VR machine, pretty much. So you don't want that.
Yeah, that's definitely it. So I think that's most of the movement weapon, or not weapons, but like tech that we have.
Yes.
Let's talk about some vehicles, because I know everyone wants to build some vehicles. I think there were some questions in our Discord regarding vehicles too. If you haven't joined, that link is going to be in the description. You can ask us questions and we will answer them right here directly on the podcast.
Yes, sir.
But vehicles in Hytale, let's talk about the easiest one. Boats are going to be in the game. Like boats as in the ones you would see in Minecraft, just like small ones.
Like a little rowboat.
And we know that minecarts are in the game.
Yes.
And now we get to experiment. What other things do you think there are? Do you think wagons will be in the game?
There already are in the game, actually. Like, oh no, sorry, I was thinking wheelbarrows. Wait, no, I do think wagons are actually in the game, like a wagon pulled by like a horse, right? If you look in one of the farming images,
trying to find it right now.
It's the farming one. It looks like a more autumn theme. The guy's farming in his backyard. The house roof tiles, I think they're green or something like that.
I see another one right here. I'm gonna send you this.
Okay.
This might be what you're talking about.
Let me see.
Is this it? We see like a farming wagon.
That is one of them. That is one of them. I'll try to pull up the other one.
Okay, so that basically confirms that we can have farming wagons. Now, here's the thing. They might not actually work as wagons, and they might be decoration. That's something you have to keep in mind when looking at these images, because they are just images.
This is the image. I just found it. I think it's the exact same wagon, so yeah, it looks like the exact same one.
Yeah, it looks like the same wagon. It also looks like nothing. Yeah, this is definitely an aesthetic one. This is not a wagon you can push, because if you look at all of the images, and please put them on the screen, every single one of them looks the same. There's a fork, there is a watering can, and then there's the hay bales on the side. And we see that in every single one of them.
Yes, and maybe you can take them off, and then if you take them off the wagon, then perhaps like maybe they'll have like a small inventory, right? Like you can
they could have a small inventory, but it doesn't. I don't think you can move these. I think these are like you place it down and it looks nice.
Yes, and if there is a wagon that's like sort of being pulled by like a horse or a cow or something, let me know. For some reason I do remember something like that, but I just can't think of it right now.
Interesting. Okay, it might have been a postcard.
It could have been
thinking of.
It could have been,
but I can't find it. So
we'll have to go back. There's a lot of Hytale images out there, and I can remember most of them.
Yeah, if anyone here listening to the podcast or watching the podcast, thank you by the way, knows of an image or a video where we do see any vehicles in movement, such as a wagon being pulled by a horse, let us know. That's super interesting, and we'll definitely talk about it in the next episode. Wagon being pulled by a horse, definitely possible.
Like horse and carriage, anything like that, right?
Horse and carriage, yeah. Cars.
Well, if you at the end of the trailer where they're filming the movie, what is in there?
Ooh, you are right.
I know there's movement in there. I can't recall what it is. I don't know if it's just minecart or something. But
it's a minecart.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, minecart movement. I guess minecarts could be like the best way to make a car. But then again, like cars don't really fit into the theme of Hytale unless you're going for like an old-fashioned like 1920 Stanley or something like that. But I just don't see.
Yeah, I don't think cars are going to be in Hytale either, and I don't think planes are going to be in Hytale either.
In mods, probably. Like they don't work in block games, right?
I don't think ships are going to be in the game. I think
I mean, I think if anything, ships will be in the game. Like big vehicles, like ships, like old-fashioned ships, not just like a modern cruise ship. Like that's not going to be in Hytale. It just makes no sense. But I think between cars and planes and ships and helicopters and all those like big ways for transportation, I think ships are the most likely.
I think they would be. trying to think. Yeah, I guess they would be most likely, but I still don't think ships are realistic to have in Hytale.
No, it's fair. It's fair.
I just don't see it.
I'll just mod it in on my server.
I think most big vehicles are not realistic because of the fact that it is a block game.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's mods, but I think it goes into the like question of, yeah, it's possible, but does it really fit? And hopefully there is a way that you could make it fit, because I mean, who doesn't want to make a plane or a car? But I think that's up to the devs to design, and I think they're going to be leaning towards no.
Yeah, no, I mean, I back that as well. And either way, if they're not in the game, modders within like a month or two are going to mod them in anyway. So
oh yeah,
they'll be in the game. They just won't be in the base game, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's all the sort of mechanical things with wheels. Unless you can think of something right now.
No, I think that's pretty much it.
So then, the most basic form of transportation, besides like walking and running and jumping.
I was gonna say running or walking.
Yeah. Like animals. What kind of animals?
Rideable animals.
Number one, obviously rideable raptors. The most important thing that should be in Hytale. If the team is watching this, I've said this since 2019. If you want to strap a saddle on a velociraptor or a cave raptor, that's what they're called, I won't be mad. Just do it. Just do it. Just for me. That's the only thing I really ever wanted. But we'll go to the most likely one and say like horses and raptors, obviously. But
yeah,
horses.
and I think we've had this discussion in a previous episode. I think most of the generic animals you'll be able to ride. We've seen the goat.
Oh yeah, the ram, right?
Yeah, we'll be able to ride horses, donkeys, mules, all that stuff. Maybe you could ride deer.
Dragons.
Dragons could be cool. That'd be super sick if you could ride a dragon.
Exo would love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think animals, if you want to hear the discussion about that, I don't remember exactly which podcast episode, but it is definitely one of them. So watch them all, and you'll find out what we think about that. I want to go back to the mantling thing, because they specifically mentioned that this is one of the several movement techniques that they've been working on. And it makes me think, like, what are the other ones? We have mantling to climb up 4 blocks high. Sliding is something I would love in the game.
Oh,
I would absolutely love a clean sliding mechanic where you run, you press crouch, and you just roll on down.
You're done. You're going down a mudslide or an ice thing or something. Oh, it'd be so sick, dude. I'd love that.
Sliding is super satisfying. Maybe they'll go like super advanced and you can like bunny hop in a Hytale. That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy. I was thinking more like rolling. So like a little, not like you continuously roll, but just say you do like a little somersault or something like that to get under somewhere to dodge maybe. I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah, somersault could be cool. I don't know why I thought of this, a backflip. That would never be in the game, but it would just be so funny to think about a Hytale character doing a backflip.
No, it certainly would be really funny. Just I don't know how the animation would work for that, but it'd be really dope. But what other ones could they test?
Ones, wall jumping, like in Mario.
Oh, you like bat wall to wall to wall to wall, something like a double, triple jump.
Which is not something I think will happen, but I mean, maybe they're thinking of making like a special game mode for the Hypixel mini games where you could like wall run and wall jump, and it's like a crazy parkour system.
But what they could technically do, like I could see this actually happening. Like yeah, you literally it's just like 2 moves. So you run up to a wall, one's facing one way, one's facing the other way. So you run up to a wall, kick off the other wall, and then do the mounting thing on the something like that. You do like a little double jump, I guess you could call it. That would be dope. Will it happen? Yeah. Hopefully.
Probably not, but it's a cool idea to keep in mind.
Yeah, like in third person or watching another player do it, it'll look cool. But if you're doing this in first person, like you're just gonna see yourself jumping into a wall and then flipping.
Yeah, I think that's the hard part. Is in third person it makes a lot of sense, but you also have to remember that this game is also a first person game. So
Yeah, but also if you're playing the game in first person, how would mounting really work? Or how would it look?
Mantling?
How would, yeah, sorry, I can't say it. How would mantling like look? Like where you see your player's arms go above your head and pull yourself up?
That's how I believe most games do it. Is you would see your character doing this, and then going up.
Okay. But then they said there's other ones still. So what else is there?
What else? It's something we can't really find out. We've made our guesses. I hope sliding's in the game. That's my hope.
Sliding will be a lot of fun.
There are more movement text that we still haven't talked about. There's so many different types of movement in Hytale. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is nuts.
Weapons. And we talked about weapons last episode, but we did not really talk about the abilities because of the fact that the abilities give you crazy movement. Daggers, let's talk about them.
Daggers. Best movement, dude. You can run with them behind you, do like a little Naruto run. You can jump and stab. You can like spin around really fast. You can dash forward. Oh, dashing, dude. So many things. I love it.
So this could be one of the other movement techs that they're prototyping, because it doesn't have to just necessarily be a universal movement tech. It could be a movement tech for specific weapons.
Right.
And I think that could actually be what they're talking about. The daggers have the dash. The daggers have the high jump. The daggers have the lunge. There's so many different types of movement techniques just there. I'm going to pull up the video. I have it open.
I know hammers have a little spin, like war hammers or clubs. They have a little spin that does a lot of damage. So that could be one of the ones they're prototyping. But we also did see that in the trailer. So
one thing the hammers have is they jump up and do like a slam down. So that's a movement technique. You could use that to get up to a higher distance. Another question is,
would it do more damage the farther you fall?
That's a good question. I hope so. I think that'd be a super cool mechanic.
Because like, I'm sure if you jump off a cliff, you can't really do that because you'll probably take a lot of fall damage.
Yeah, you'd die yourself.
Just say, maybe there's like a maximum of like 5 blocks or 6 blocks, and that'll just increase the damage drastically.
And then I wonder how these movement techniques like combine with mantling. Like, can you mantle and immediately like jump up? Because then you could do like an 8-block jump like in a matter of a second. It just depends on like what the cooldown is for getting up after mantling, because in theory you could mantle and then immediately like press your ability button, and the second you're up you're already like four more blocks higher.
Right. Well, mantling takes stamina though, because you're using a lot of body strength to pull yourself
I
up.
would assume it does.
Okay.
I would assume it takes stamina. That would make sense to me.
It would definitely. So yeah, maybe that does stop you from spamming your attacks in like a specific like circumstance where you're battling somebody. So that would be very helpful.
Is there anything regarding movement that we are missing? We the Hytale experts. I think we covered pretty much everything. We traveled through running, through walking, crouching.
Do you think there'll be fast travel?
Ooh, that is a travel that we have not talked about, and I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, I don't think like you can fast travel through Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4, but through other planets? Will there be...
Through other planets, most definitely. How will travel between planets work? My guess is portals.
There are portals.
Portals is technically a movement
yes.
thing that we have not talked about.
Will there be a portal animation of you just sort of swirling through the depths of the world? Or will it just be an instant teleport? We don't know.
Yeah, so portals could be... I hope you set up like different portals or totems for like... One, you have your base in Zone 1, or you have a second base in Zone 2, and you could use like a teleportation totem to go in between them.
Like, or one of those Gaia portals, right? Like maybe... So you know how the Gaia portal leads into like Gaia's temple, or what we assume is Gaia's temple? What if you can set up, you know how there's different pillars, right, of like each element? What if you can set up a little portal in each little element's like little castle that they have, and then it teleports you to each base?
That would be a super cool idea. Yeah, there's a lot of ways about teleportation or portals that we could explore, but I think that's something that we would be able to better explore if we had more information, because realistically we don't have any information about teleportation. I think like waypoints in like a totem system could be cool. Like you place down this waypoint in the middle of your house or your village, and then you place down a waypoint at the nearest Quebec village.
Well, we have seen that little compass on the top of like of gameplay that we've seen. Like we have seen a grave, so to me that just assumes maybe your previous death or something like that. And then we also see in the little screenshot as well, it says like north, south, east, west, and there's also like little castles or little prefabs or something. So maybe it tells you, yes, there's a prefab this way, go that way. Maybe you can place something down. And then also there is a screenshot. I'll have to find this because give me a minute here. But it literally is like the Temple of Gaia or something like that. Let me find this. You guys are going to see.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Are you talking about the map?
Yeah.
Where it has the map open? Yes.
They can literally see. Oh, they can't see my folders. Nice.
It is in the announcement trailer, to my knowledge.
I believe so, but I have an image saved of it somewhere in my folder.
I have it for you if you would like. Sending it to you currently.
Yeah, if you want to send it to me, go ahead. Yes, that is it.
Yeah, so on this image, we can see story dungeons, world dungeon, Temple of Gaia, world gate, spawn, point of interest, player friends, and waypoint. While we're at it, let's just go ahead and analyze this image because this image is insane. We can place markers, which is nice. So you will never forget where your home is. You can just place a marker at your home, label it home, bada bing, bada boom.
And waypoints already like traveling right there. What I get out of this is that you see where it says story dungeons, that little castle, that is in the top screen where your player like movement thing moves around, I guess you could say, where it says north, south, east, and west. That is in there. So we know that these correlate into the top there, so that's pretty cool. So I guess all of these will show up eventually once you play Hytale or something.
Yeah, most definitely. And there's so many different types of things that it mentions. A point of interest. This, in my opinion, is going to be something like a Quebec camp or some story character's house.
Yep.
Something like that. Something very important that you need to go to that could kind of like help guide you through the story, but not like hold your hand, hopefully. Spawn is going to be spawn, which is very nice that they indicate where spawn is.
Yeah.
World gate. World gate is something we don't know, but we can assume that this is how you travel between the different worlds.
Yes.
Considering
I was going to say that.
It would not really make sense to have a world gate take you in the same world, but there are of course multiple worlds. So world gate, it's not shown in guide Temple of Gaia. It may be somewhere else, but it will be somewhere, and that is how you travel between the different planets, is through some kind of gate portal. It looks like a portal icon.
It does.
We have the Temple of Gaia. That's what we're currently in. It's obviously so important that it has its own icon, which is interesting to think about. What will this place really mean? We already see that there's multiple story dungeons and world dungeons here. So this may be the main place, like a hub for you to continue the story or start the story or something like that. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And then we have an icon that we don't know what it is at the very top.
What? Which one?
The very top, right above defeat the golem, there's like a chest and then an icon that is not on the legend.
Oh, interesting.
What could that be?
What could that be? I have no idea. I mean, to me, it's like the diamond, which sort of goes with Varen, the little like triangles and all those diamond things. That's what I get out of it. But who knows? Let us know in the comment section.
Who knows? And there's something else I want to note before we move on from this image.
Okay.
At the very bottom, above where it says Epic Adventures, we see the spawn icon, but it is green. Could green mean Orbis? Because we are currently on at the Temple of Gaia, Garden of Elements, and if we remember from the previous blog posts a long time ago, no, it wasn't in a blog post, it was just a concept art. We talked about it in a previous podcast. That's what I meant to say. The Temple of Gaia is not on Orbis. It is on Numdrassil. So this is currently a legend for Numdrassil. Everything is blue, but the spawn is green. Our spawn is obviously not in Numdrassil, it's in Orbis. So Something to keep in mind. Something
Keep
to
that in mind. Note
remember.
that in the back of your heads for when Hytale comes out, and come back to this podcast, or don't. Doesn't really matter.
See if we were right. Prove us wrong.
So I think this is gonna be a really cool difference between like story dungeons and world dungeons.
Oh yeah.
We probably could talk about this in a different podcast, but I think obviously story dungeons focus completely on the lore. Then a world dungeon will just help build the world around you and immerse you more into Hytale. I don't want to go in depth about them right now because we could definitely have a whole podcast talking about dungeons and prefabs. So we'll talk about that later. But we're about 40 minutes in, so let's get to some viewer questions here.
Let's do some viewer questions. These are some of my favorite. Once again, join the Discord. Link in the description if you want to ask us some questions. We have a very thriving community right now. Always talking about Hytale. It's really motivating. Kind of sad in the way that Hytale isn't released, but definitely awesome to see you guys always talking and making up theories. Very fun to read. So we have a question from Cyborg Kreger. Would you rather want early beta access, be with the rest of the community while random people will get access to the beta, find a distraction until release, none of the above? I think it's an obvious A, right?
I think so. I can't find this question. Where did you find it? Podcast questions?
Yeah. Scroll up. It's
When's this image? When was this sent?
2/26/23.
Oh my god, that was so long ago. That was February. We're behind on our
we're
behind on our podcast questions. Oh my goodness.
Yes. I put a check mark after every single one.
Oh really?
Finish, yeah. So
nice,
we always know where we're at.
I'm still in March here. Could I read the question off again? Sorry.
Would you rather want early beta access? Don't get early beta access and just randomly get it. Find a distraction until release, or none of the above. I feel like
A.
Yeah, A.
I want an early access to the beta.
These like answers don't really relate to each other, but that's fine.
It says no pressure, no pressure.
GT, I wanted to ask about enchants. Like, what if there's certain enchants that are like fire aspect or something new, like freezing aura? Imagine staff that creates freezing aura with a zone around it.
I mean, there
will be new enchantments. If it's gonna work the same way as Minecraft, I doubt it. I think enchantments are going to be baked to the weapon that you find, or you'll be able to maybe it'll work similar to Minecraft, but a lot of the effects are going to be baked into the weapon themselves, similar to the fire sword. I don't think a regular sword is going to be able to make things catch on fire. A fire sword will be, and the same thing will go for like an icy sword. Will be able to help freeze or something like that. Stuff like that. That's how I think the enchantments.
No, I think you're spot on there as well. Like maybe you'll find a book that has maybe more sharpness or something. You can throw it onto a sword, but I don't think there will just be a straight fire aspect book that you can throw on your ice sword, so you can have a fire and ice sword. Like that just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. Or like certain armor sets, like a magma armor set is going to be more fire resistant.
Of course.
Something like that. So I think that's how enchants are going to work. It's something we have zero idea if enchants are even in the game, so it's kind of hard to talk about. But I think, we'll probably have like a similar system to Minecraft if there are enchantments in the game. Otherwise, I think they'll figure out their own system.
Yeah.
Do you guys think people will be mad if Hytale is too similar to the Hypixel Skyblock? And you already answered this. How can Hytale be similar to Skyblock? And they replied, just like parts or systems of things, of armors and weapons with abilities. Many different stats, armor sets, skills, collections, unlocking crafting with skills and collections. Hytale public server having stuff like Skyblock, Village, Reforge, Runes. This is something, he goes into more detail, but I'm not too familiar with Hytale Skyblock. I think
me too. We need 30 hours on the podcast for this.
It's something very separate.
So what I think he's trying to say is, do we think where people will be mad if they incorporate more swords
RPG
and armor sets? No, I think it means literal things from Skyblock. I don't know what type of swords they have. Just say for example they have like a Wakanda sword and they throw that in Hytale or something like that. I don't know. I don't think that'll be like that. I think Hypixel Skyblock will be very similar on the Hytale server when they have their own Hypixel Skyblock in Hytale. I think it'll be very similar, just more in depth because there's so much more you can do in Hytale. But in the actual game, no, it won't be similar.
Yeah, the game itself is a different game. I think if there would be similarities, it's if Hypixel makes a Hytale Skyblock. in their minigames, which is likely because it's their biggest minigame, so they probably want to continue the success of that.
I think 100% it will.
I wonder what the default option will be when creating a character, or will it force you to pick something. You will be able to customize your character. We've seen this in
There's so many options.
So many pictures and videos now. We saw it in the first trailer. We saw it in this most recent Riot trailer. We've seen screenshots of it. So you will be able to customize your character to your liking. And there's so many options. There's so many options to choose from. So you will definitely be able to make something that looks like you or represents you or doesn't represent you. Who knows?
Exactly.
Whatever you want to make it.
And dude, I can't wait to customize my character.
Okay, let me scroll down.
Hugo put a great question here, but not a podcast question. How dare he?
Wow. Okay, yeah, I'm scrolling down because we asked something and it was in the wrong channel. That's on me.
Oh, nice one, mine.
Yeah. So there are 3 more questions from GT we can end it off on. You can call me Gamer T. I want to see a full long video of loading in the game and making a world and then playing and crafting at least some wooden tools. Oh, this is just what they want to see, but they made it as questions. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, because I asked the Discord what you guys want to see in Hytale, and I think we talked about a lot of these.
Hydroid has a good question.
Hydroid has a good question. Should I learn C++, or do you think there will be in-game tools to help start from scratch to bring your own ideas in the game? That's a good question. So Mikey Q replies and saying we'll have access to the creation tools the devs use to create the game in the first place. It was a core thing in the trailer. So yeah, I think you definitely will need to learn C++ specifically.
That's if you want to get into it, which I assume you would if you're learning it.
Yeah. There's already some answers in the Discord, so we've got some very helpful community members. Messiah basically answers what I think we're all saying. You'll definitely need to learn C++ if you want to make mods or create your own stuff in Hytale, because that's just how the game is built off of. It wouldn't really make sense if you'd have to learn a different language to play in a game that's built in another language. The other thing could be they streamline like a mod making tool, because I know that Overwatch has like a workshop, but it's not exactly the same thing that Hytale is going to give. It's very limited, and you kind of have to learn like the Overwatch code. It's obviously super simplified and it makes sense when you do it, but I don't think that's going to be relevant to Hytale. I think with Hytale, because you can do pretty much anything with the coding, you're going to have to learn it. And then there was a great distinction made if you want to make models. So if you want to be an artist or a model maker, learn Blockbench.
Yep. Dude, even I've tried it. It's not very hard, and I suck at design.
Blockbench is very easy to use.
Yeah.
There's obviously a lot of skill ceiling to it, but pretty much anyone can jump in and start making their first model right now.
It's free.
So, yeah. I think that's it. I think we are on a good spot.
Yep. I think it's a good spot to end it. We'll get to more podcast questions next time. Is next week the big thing, or is...
No.
We don't know.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But definitely subscribe. Stay tuned for future episodes, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.